Hi, I'm Christina from Speak English with Christina, where you'll have fun becoming fluent in American English. Today, we're continuing the celebration of my course, Successful Small Talk, with registrations opening soon. It's a course that will help you to stop feeling blocked and have fluent conversations. And this bonus lesson today is all about a fantastic topic, describing food. Now, this is bonus small talk lesson number 2 of 3, and you can get more free lessons if you go to ChristinaRebuffet.com and you sign up to join more than 20,000 Speak English ambassadors, the students who are learning English with me every week. Now, if you can make successful small talk in English, what changes will you see? Well, you'll have fluent conversations first, but you'll also have lots of vocabulary for many different topics. So you stop hesitating and you stop feeling like you have half your brain when you speak English. Also, if you lack one precise word, it's okay. You can explain it differently because you have those reflexes. And this is just like what native speakers do when they forget a word in English. And this means that you can have a normal conversation in English just like you do in your native language. And we're going to start with food. And this is a question a lot of people have asked. Talking about how to cook a steak. This is it. It can be rare, medium, medium well, and well done. So those are the different ways you could talk about a steak if you're going to a restaurant with a friend or with a colleague. If your friend or colleague is an American, this is the way they might interpret the different ways of cooking. Rare, possible food poisoning. Medium rare, possible food poisoning. Medium, not so safe. Medium well, possible food poisoning. But if it's well done, it's cooked and safe. So just something to know if you suggest a steak that is cooked medium rare or medium if your American friend kind of is a little hesitant. This is why. Now, we're going to look at some very useful vocabulary for describing food and ingredients. And we're going to focus on the ones that are maybe not so common. So chicken and beef and pork, you know that, but maybe you don't know turkey, which is the traditional Thanksgiving food, turkey, rabbit. Now, this is not a very common food in the U.S., so if you suggest it and your American friend, again, is a little hesitant, it's because we don't really eat it that much. Duck is the same thing. It's more common than rabbit, but still not something that we regularly eat. Duck, not really. Lamb, and notice the pronunciation, lamb, we don't pronounce the B. Again, not a very common meat in the U.S. And this means that, yes, some people do eat it. Yes, you can find it, but it's definitely not as common as beef, pork, and chicken in the U.S. Now, fish, we have salmon. Notice the pronunciation. Salmon, we don't pronounce the L, salmon. Tuna, it's often in a can, not always. And then everything else, there are specific names like halibut, mahi, etc. But you don't need to know the exact words. You can just say whitefish. And this is pretty much every other type of fish, whitefish. Now we have seafood and shellfish like scallops, which I love. Mussels, also very good. And shrimp. Another of my favorite. I really love seafood, in fact. So scallops, mussels, and shrimp are some common types of seafood. Now, let's look at some real English for describing food. Now, first of all, there's a false friend, especially if you speak French. An entree, in American English, it's the main dish. It's not the starter, because in American English, we have the starter, the entree, and the dessert. So, false friend. You can describe food as kind of halfway cooked. It's kind of halfway cooked, meaning it's not 100% cooked. It's a little raw inside. This is normal in many different countries, but for a lot of Americans, something that is kind of halfway cooked could be a little bizarre, a little scary. So just keep that in mind when you're recommending some foods. And you don't have to have the exact words all the time. You can describe dishes like it's a kind of vegetable dish made with bell peppers, zucchini, and eggplant, and it's kind of liquidy. And we're going to look at all of this language. Like we said, you can be vague. You don't have to have the specific word. It's a kind of, it's a sort of, like it's a kind of chicken dish, meaning it's made of chicken. It has lots of bell peppers, so you can describe it. Or it's a sort of Moroccan dish. It has a lot of flavor, but it's not spicy. It's not hot and spicy. So, you can describe things when you don't have the words. That's a very helpful key to fluency. But we're going to look at some adjectives to describe food. Something can be creamy. It's made with cream. It's creamy. It's fatty. It has a lot of fat on it. It's salty. So it has a lot of salt, maybe like French fries. Or it's hot and spicy. So something that it burns. It's hot and spicy. Or it's heavy, like it's a heavy dish. That's not a good thing to describe food as heavy. And then also you can be a little creative with the language. And if you can be creative and play with the language, that is a sign that you are quite fluent in the language because you can manipulate it and play with it. So one common way that we do this is the ingredient plus Y, to say that a dish has a strong taste of a specific ingredient. Like it's a little garlicky. It has a lot of garlic taste to it. It's a little eggy, so it has a strong egg taste. It's a little tomatoey, so there's a very strong tomato presence in the dish. So you see, describing food, it's not an exact science. It's often very informal, so you don't always need a specific, precise ingredient. You can say it's a type of white fish, or it's kind of garlicky. And we use a lot of adjectives to describe the texture, the way it's cooked, maybe our appreciation of the dish. And if really you are blocked by something, an emergency technique is to search for an image on your smartphone and show it to your guest. Look in your native language, look in Google Images, and just show them the photo and say, this is the dish, or this is the ingredient I'm trying to describe. And maybe they just don't know the ingredient. That's possible. But at least this is an emergency technique to help you. Now, like I said earlier, my course Successful Small Talk is opening on Thursday, June 1st. So go to this website if you want to get your invitation to join the course. And it's going to help you to finally feel comfortable in these everyday conversations in English. Just to show you, here is what the page looks like. You can sign up and you'll get 3 free bonus lessons immediately to help you with your small talk. Now, I have a question for you. I want to know about a time when you talked about food in English. Maybe a conversation with a colleague or a friend. But tell us what you talked about. And also, if you have any other questions about food, what questions do you still have about food? Share those with me in the comments, and I will be very happy to help you out. So, thanks so much for watching this lesson. Don't miss lesson number 3. It's coming soon. And go to ChristinaRebuffet.com and check out the lessons and sign up for your invitation for Successful Small Talk. All right, I'll see you in lesson 3. Bye.